Have you ever wondered why you struggle so much losing weight? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can go from struggling, not losing any weight, hitting plateaus to in the next 90 days, getting in the absolute best shape of your life. And it's a simple 4-part framework that you can implement today. The first phase is the idea phase. Now, this phase is the most important phase. So don't shortchange this. The idea phase is where you come up with not only where you're going, but why you want to go there. So most people say, okay, I want to lose weight, and then they move past the idea phase. There's no meat on that. There's nothing to grasp on. There's nothing that's going to push you through those days. You don't want to do what you know you need to do. So you need something that brings out emotion. It has to be something that gets you out of the bed. So most people would say, I want to lose weight. Yeah, that's great. But why do you want to lose weight? What is it about losing weight that's attractive? What is it about losing weight that's going to get you up at 5 a.m. in the morning? After a long day's work, you're going to want to go to the gym. So it might be something like, I want to lose 42 pounds, so at the end of that, I'll have more confidence. My sex life will be unbelievable. I'll be able to walk in any single room and demand attention just by my physical stature. That's something that your brain can process, latch onto, and start creating emotion around it, right? It has to be something that gets you going. It might be, I want to lose 42 pounds so I can get in the best shape I've ever been in. So when I go pick my son Daniel up from school, all his friends are pointing at me and whispering like, oh, look at Daniel's dad. He's so fit. He's so fit. He looks like a superhero. That's something that your brain can latch onto and start creating emotion around this. It has to be emotion. Now, this phase right here, the idea phase, you're gonna have to sit down and really dig deep, because most people relate to old and past previous ideas and old ways of thinking, and that will not work. It's kind of like Steve Jobs when he was creating Apple. He came up with the slogan, think different. Okay, so when you're coming up with this idea, you have to think different. Think different than every other time you tried to lose weight. Every other time you made your New Year's resolution. This is not that. I need you to think different. I need you to hit it from all different angles. You should be so excited, so hyped up, so amped up at who you are going to become, that you're excited to do the work that it's going to take to get here. You can't wait to get to the gym. You can't wait to meal prep. You can't wait to track your macros. You can't wait because you understand the payoff is huge. You have to build this dream. You have to build this identity of the man you're going to become. Not the man you currently are, the man you are going to become. I need you to think different, all right? Phase 1. Phase 2. This is discovery phase, right? Super important. So phase 2 is the discovery phase. So what is the discovery phase? This is when you determine what's lacking. You need to discover exactly where you are. So this means you have to be real with yourself. You have to be transparent with yourself. You have to be raw with yourself and understand where you're at in your current situation. And then you have to look at where you want to be and what that man has that you currently don't have. What's lacking? Because there's something missing. There's something that the man you're going to become does that you currently don't do. He has traits and habits and things that he does that you don't currently do. And during the discovery phase, this is when you figure out exactly what is missing. It might be something like, okay, well, the man that I need to be consistently gets up every single day at 5 a.m. and he doesn't miss. The man I am currently right now sleeps in, hits the snooze button. So what's the difference? This man has the discipline to get up every single day at 5 a.m. The man I currently am, I get up when I feel like it. If it's cold outside, I don't. right? So you're figuring out exactly what the difference is. It's so important you do this, right? And you have to be genuinely authentic and real with yourself to figure out where you are. Imagine yourself on one island and where you want to go is another island, right? So your goal is to figure out you're on this island over here that's gloomy all the time. It has terrible crime, that has burnt down buildings, and you're just not happy to be there. But you can see the island that you want to go to that has everything you ever wanted. It has palm trees, luscious beaches, beautiful homes, and you can see your dream home. So you know where you're at right now. Well, what's missing, right? What is over there? What's stopping you from getting over there? This is the discovery phase. And during the discovery phase, once you know that, now you start getting everything you need and setting yourself up for success. So what does that look like? You get a calendar, right? Write and schedule your workouts. Don't just say you're going to work out 5 days a week. Put it on your schedule. Plan it, right? Okay, you're going to meal prep. Cool. What days are you going to meal prep? How many calories do you need a day? How much protein do you need to do a day? And write it down. Write it down. I should be able to ask you at any given time, how much protein do you consume a day? How many calories do you consume a day? You're building a blueprint. You're discovering and finding everything you need to become the man that you are going to be. You're gathering up all the resources that you're going to need. Now, it's not just resources that you need. The discovery phase, you're also figuring out the people in your life that will help you get to your goal, as well as the people in your life that are keeping you from that goal. Because right now you have people in your life that are keeping you and hindering from that goal, from that man you want to be, and they got to go. They have to go. You have to create distance. You have to get in proximity with people who are either going where you want to go or they are where you want to be. Because you're the average of the 5 people you hang around. So if you don't do something about this, you're going to revert back to the old you. You're not strong enough to do it yourself. So that's the discovery phase. The next phase, this is when it gets good. All right. The building phase. So what is the building phase? The building phase is when you're actually doing the work. You're doing the daily disciplines. You're developing the habits. You're getting up consistently every single day. You're hitting the gym consistently. You're working on your mindset, right? You're feeding your mind as well as your body. Because right now, here's the deal. Your body tells you what to do. Your mind is what tells you what to do. That's something that you have to develop. You have to develop the mindset where this controls this, not the other way around. Because if you let this is nothing but a mere meat suit. You do not want to depend on this because this is designed to find the path of least resistance every single time. Getting up early, is it easy? No. Going to sleep at a sensible time, is that easy? No. Maybe giving up alcohol, giving up drugs, whatever vices you have, is that easy? No, because all those things temporarily, they make you feel good. You get that initial dopamine hit. Well, you got to use this. You have to use your mind. It's the 6 inches between your ears that are hindering you. Right? So you're building, you're doing the work, block after block, brick after brick, day in and day out. And now you're focused on your daily activity, not the end result. See, when you were in this phase, the idea phase, you got very clear on what you wanted. This is crystal clear. Every once in a while, yes, you review who you want to be, what that man looks like, and you start visualizing and getting clear. And clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer. Who do I want to be? What does that look like? What it's going to feel like? How is my wife going to look at me? How are my kids going to look at me? That's crystal clear, but this is not what we set as our goals or our benchmarks or our daily wins, right? In the building phase, you create daily wins every single day. Look, if you're going to play a game, you set it up for success. So what is a daily win? Let me give you an example. If your goal is to get up at 5 a.m. and you get up at 5 a.m., that's a win. If first thing in the morning is to read the Bible and you complete that, that's a win. Showed up at the workout, that's a win. Completed the workout, that's a win. PR, that's a win. Those are all wins. So you set your wins up. So wins get set up around actions, not results. Because what you can control is your actions, aka your inputs. What you can't control is the outputs per se. However, if you get your inputs under control, your outputs take care of themselves. If you're consistent when you're eating, if you go to the gym, if you're getting the proper amount of sleep, if you're taking in a proper amount of water, right? Those are the inputs. Those will give you the correct outputs, aka you're gonna lose the weight, you're gonna put on the muscle. So we set our wins up around our inputs. Why do we do that? Because there's going to be weeks where your actions are perfect. You're doing everything you need to do, but the result you get at the end of the week is not going to be what you want it to be. It's not going to be what you expected. And if this is what you're basing your wins on, guess what? You lost. And what does losing do? Nobody likes losing. Nobody likes losing except losers. And if you've made it this far in this video, you're not a loser. You're just not. You wouldn't have made it this far. All right? The last phase, iteration. So what is the iteration phase? It's when you reinvent yourself. It's when you fine tune. Right? So the first version is version 1.0. Right? So when you go through this whole process, the first time you go through it, that's version 1.0. Right? So you go through the idea phase for the first time. And this is probably going to be really hard because probably you've lost and failed and started and stopped a lot. So you might not even really fully understand what the best version of you looks like after you lose the weight, after you put on a muscle. This may not even be that clear, and that's okay. Discovery phase. You go through, you figure out, okay, what's missing? You may not know what's missing. The island might be so far away. The man you need to become in your head is so far away, you really don't know. You know some of the things that are missing, but you don't know everything. You know some of the people in your life that you need to get rid of, but you're going to miss some, and that's okay. Building phase. Important you get into this. Don't get hung up in this. Don't get all caught up in this. See, losers, they're going to get caught up in it. They're never even going to get past the idea phase. They're going to get so overwhelmed here, they never move forward. They'll get so overwhelmed here, they'll never get forward. That's why most people never take action. That's okay. We do it ugly. We do it ugly. You learn and you iterate as you go. So once you get down here, okay, boom, now what? Well, now once you've went through, now it's for version 1.1, right? Same thing as your iPhone or your Android if you're silly enough to buy one of those things, right? Every once in a while, there's an update. And what does the update do? It makes everything better. Then you go through the process again. All right, and after you go through the process again, guess what? You got version 1.2. And then you go through it again. And eventually it gets so good, you got version 2.0. And then you got version 3.0. And when does this stop? It never stops. In 90 days, you can get incredible results if you follow this. But when does it stop? Well, let me ask you this question. When do you want to revert back to the old you that you didn't like? The old you that every time you looked in the mirror, you hated and you were disgusted with, you had no confidence. When do you want to exactly revert back to that? Because whenever you want to revert back to that, stop doing this. Because anything left unattended and not taken care of will diminish and die. Just like a garden. A garden, if you take care of it and you prune it and water it and protect it from the insects and protect it from the elements, the sun, it'll continue to thrive. It'll continue to keep giving and giving and giving and giving. But as soon as you neglect it, stop watering it, stop feeding it, the weeds are going to come in. The bugs and insects are going to come in and they'll kill everything. So these are the 4 pillars. These are the 4 principles that you can use to absolutely change your life in as short as the next 90 days. I'll see you on the next one.